Stormtrooper in the kitchen.
This next one's going to be for the officer's mess. You never know when a certain dark Sith Lord might be approaching, looking for a special meal. So we'll take our effort on this one. We're going to pan-sear a chicken breast and dress that out with a good accompanying vegetable. Going to get a little bit of butter in the bottom of the pan. You're going to need some fat in order to sear out this chicken skin. Chicken's already been seasoned, so once we get this fat rendered down in the pan, we'll go ahead and add that on in. Season to taste. Get the good caramelization on the color. So here we've got our butter in the pan ready to go. Skin side down. Presentation is going to be important. The fat of the skin is going to crisp it up real nice. Get it down over medium heat. Good sounding sear. Give it a couple of minutes on one side, flip it over. Then we're actually going to finish it off in the oven so that we make sure we get nice, thorough, even cooking. Alright, it's been sitting here for a couple of minutes. Sounding awful kinds of crispy. You can see down here along the edge, you're starting to get a change of the color. It's starting to become a little less pink, which means it's a good indicator for cooking. Turn her over. And that's what we're looking for. Where it's gone all nice and brown, the caramelization is really taken over. So now this is going to be our presentation side. The fat of the skin's being rendered down into the pan. We'll use those with some more vegetables that we've got to introduce to help finish out this dish. Alright, you can see we've got the oven warmed up to 300 degrees. That's going to be good enough for what we've got to do to this lovely chicken. It's brown now on both sides. And we've got the thermal detonator set for 15 minutes. The timer set for 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead, open up the oven, get the chicken in, finish baking it off. Again, we checked the temperature earlier on. It hadn't reached 165 degrees, which is a safe temperature for chicken. So we put it in for a couple extra minutes. Now we saw the color before, and it was nice and dark. We now know this is 165 degrees because we did get it with the thermometer. Put it in for extra because it needed it. So now let's go ahead and get the pan up here on a preheated oven, ready to rock and roll. Turn the oven off. Still a nice hot pan. Since it's cooked well, juices are running clear, nice crisp skin. Take the breast out, leave it to set. And now, let's go ahead and add a little bit more butter, because you can never have too much butter. Careful, pan's hot, came out of the oven. Things like that you need to remember. Get that melted down. We'll end up making a sauce to go along with our chicken. While we're doing that, let's take up some of these potatoes and get those sauteed around. Throw in a few onions. Slive it up, make them look nice. Again, this is for the officers. Officers like pretty. We'll get these tossed, coated, worked around. Stragglers, not allowed. Everything gets coated nice and even. Actually take a little bit of alcohol. In this case we're going to use a little bit of brandy. Again, we do not have an open flame, so we don't have as much of a fire concern, but if you're using open flame, take the pan off before you'll go and add any alcohol. Just a little bit. Go in here, scrape up the bottom, get all the good stuff, mix it all through. Starch from the potatoes ought to help a little bit in making the sauce a little bit thicker along with the butter. Again, the alcohol is going to evaporate off, but it's going to leave an absolutely wonderful texture. An extra flavor to the first of our finished dishes. Couple more minutes tossing these around. Take this over here. Our potatoes out. They're just coated. Onions are just fork tender. Go ahead, finish it off. Sauce over the plate. Dinner's ready, Admiral.